There is a quote by Michel de Montaigne, and it goes as follows. He who establishes his argument by noise and command shows that his reason is weak. There is no conversation more boring than the one where everyone agrees. It is good to rub and polish our brain against that of others. I have always had a lot of different interests, and it has always been a struggle to find time for the things that I love doing. And sometimes I have those days where I just want to do everything. And of course, that's not possible. And my solution was to plan every second of every day, making a tight schedule. And it soon turned out that that wasn't working for me. And so I let it go because I ended up doing nothing of the things that I planned. I am going to give you a list of all of my interests, of all of my passions, and I would love for you to do the same and to share them with my community, with other people in the comments, and with me, of course, because I would love to know all the things that excite you. Here is my list. Writing, because I'm an author. Music, so I play the piano, I sing, and I also have a band. Reading is something I do every day. Making clothing, something I love. Baking, journaling, and note-taking. YouTube, of course, my Discord community, which of course hangs together with the YouTube channel. I love spending time reading books together, talking about books or common interests. And then I'm also very interested in self-education, and I love improving or learning new languages. There are so many things that I would like to add to that list, but you know, one has to sleep and I do need my sleep. I need 8 hours of sleep, and I really do all the things that I have listed because I love making time for the things that I love. I don't wake up at 4 a.m. So let's talk about how I do the things I do, because one of the questions that I get most often is, how do you do all those things? Where do you find the time? But again, I make time for the things that I love. And they are so important to me that I sacrifice other things like going out or scrolling on my phone or watching TV. But first of all, let me go back to sleep, because sleep is very important. If you want to be productive and if you want to have the energy to do some hobbies aside from work, you need to be well rested. And I think the most important advice that I can ever give you is to get enough sleep, because if you are sleep deprived, then you won't have the energy to do anything at all. I am passionate about the things that I do aside from work because I would like to build a skill set. I would like to be able to draw from many skills. And when I think about building a lot of skills and being open-minded and being curious and reading and writing a lot, I immediately think of Leonardo da Vinci. He was what we call today the Renaissance man. And that's actually what I want to be. I want to be a Renaissance man. So what does it mean? So the Renaissance man comes from humanism. It is believed that the human potential is vast and best realized through a balanced cultivation of mind, body, and spirit. It was first written about in the 20th century, and it is used to refer to great thinkers. They had a rounded approach to education that reflected the ideals of the humanists of the time. So someone from that time period was expected to speak several languages, to play a musical instrument, and to write poetry. So in short, we use the term to describe someone with many interests and many talents. The goal is to build a skill set, to educate yourself, and to work on the body and the heart and the mind. To acquire this, we have to manage our time well. This is something very personal. I don't know your schedule. You don't know my schedule. I can tell you about it, but I don't think that will be useful because you cannot just copy or follow my schedule. What is very useful to me is to set blocks of time to try and not to do everything in one single day. So if I have 1 hour, I will try to focus on one thing in that hour. So for example, the video that you're watching right now, I set a time block. And from 11 to 12, I am now busy recording this video for you. It's also good to have no distractions in that block of time that you set, which is kind of funny because look who's here to offer some distraction. Also, don't let social media ruin it for you. If you have noticed that your phone is a huge distraction, try to find ways to make that easier for you. Put it on silent mode, or just try to work a little bit on that phone addiction. You also must set the priority to be a lifelong learner, to be curious. I also talk about this in my video about Leonardo da Vinci. I will link the video in the description box. We have to have an open mind. We have to engage with the material that we're busy with, share it with people, open up discussions about the things that you read and that you find interesting. Write about it for yourself or to share with others, and just have a meaningful conversation with your friends or with yourself. Gosh, what is she doing? It is good to have one major focus in life. For me, that is reading and writing. So those two hang together because I believe that you cannot be a great or good writer if you don't read. So everything that I read helps me learn as an author. And, writing books is a huge part of my life. And books actually form the biggest part of my life. That is my main focus. I write about the books that I read. I talk about the books that I read with you here on the platform. And I share my experiences with you, which is amazing so far. But you should just try things and see how it feels, how it works out for you. And if you truly love something, then it won't be difficult to keep going with it. In these times, it seems like we seem to focus on one big skill that we use for our jobs. And that just doesn't seem enough to me. It is Johann Wolfgang von Goethe who said, "A man should hear a little music, read a little poetry, and see a fine picture every day of his life." Rotating your passions can also help to stay consistent. Some hobby can be more interesting to you in winter, some in the summer. For me, it's also highly based on the mood that I am in. And it is okay to not be interested in everything all at once. You can have seasons in your hobbies. Maybe you can also break things up into mini projects instead of just setting big goals. Look at how you manage your time right now. See how you can do things more efficiently, where you can win extra time. For example, when you notice that at night you are watching 2 hours of television, just take a look and think about how important it is to you to have those 2 hours of television. If you are passionate about those 2 hours of TV, then by all means keep it. But if you feel like it is eating away your time and you feel like you're actually wasting time, then it is in your hands to take action and to exchange that television time or phone time for something that you are very passionate about. And also, it is never, ever, ever too late to start learning something new. See what works and take one hobby at a time in mini projects. And don't worry if you're having these periods where you're not interested in, for example, focusing on your instrument and instead are focused on making clothing. I think when you are open to become a lifelong learner and to build a wide skill set, then you will become a more interesting person. It'll spark interesting conversations with yourself and with others as well. And even if you don't have a lot of time in your day, I do hope that you have certain blocks of time in your day for yourself, because it's not healthy to be working all the time and to give up your time to other people. It is exhausting. And I think it's very important to have time for yourself, even if it was just half an hour a day. And you can just do small blocks of 10 minutes or 20 minutes, and in a year that really adds up. It's just all about being curious, about wanting to learn, and about wanting to improve yourself. I'm already looking forward to seeing your passions and interests in the comment section, and I hope to see you next week.